Hi everyone, today I wanted to go through a release of the pec minor muscle with a lacrosse ball. So the pec minor muscle is a muscle that sits in the front of the shoulder and the chest. It connects to the coracoid process under the collarbone and comes through and attaches through to the ribs underneath the pec major, so that major chest muscle there. So when it is tight, it can pull those shoulders forward and can also impact on some of the nerves running through that area. So I'm going to go through a way to release that muscle today, which will help to free up the shoulder and bring it back into a more neutral position. Okay, so using a lacrosse ball for this, which is a small rubber ball. You can also use something like a tennis ball. However, a tennis ball is not as hard, so it's not going to work as well, but it will still work. You will also need an upright surface. So I'm using just a pole for a rack today, but you could also use a doorway or anything that's upright and which will allow you to move your arm around the side. So what I'm going to be doing is putting the ball against the upright surface, and I'm going to be leaning into that. So I'm going to be placing it just under the collarbone and towards the armpit, okay, and that's where the pec minor muscle is. And then I'm going to lean against the upright pole here. Once I've leaned into it and I've found a spot that feels like it's got a bit of tension in it, it can be quite uncomfortable, maybe even a little bit painful. You don't want to push too hard where you're tightening up against it, but enough where it is a little bit uncomfortable. Once I've found that spot, I can then move up and down with my arm, and the ball will roll over that muscle, creating that myofascial release through that whole muscle. I can also move that arm around into different planes to get through every part of that muscle. So we're just moving around in that position, just getting that muscle moving underneath the pressure that we're applying with that lacrosse ball. So I'll demonstrate it to the side. So I'm just leaning in there, the ball's against the upright surface, and then I'm just moving my arm around in different planes of motion to hit different parts of that muscle set there. So that's a good way to release the pec minor muscle, help to free up those shoulders a bit. So if you do find you've got that forward shoulder position and struggling with things like overhead movements, or just in general you find you're quite rounded through the back and got forward shoulders, it's a good one to release that pec minor muscle. Give it a try, guys. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you on the next one.